You might describe it as Las Vegas meets Broadway in Pigeon Forge. It's not like the shows you usually expect to see in the Great Smoky Mountains. Magical illusions on a grand scale and big musical productions combined in a one-of-a-kind extravaganza called Darren Romeo Magic Beyond Belief. Darren has performed all over the world, and he has been a big hit in Pigeon Forge this summer. Darren, welcome to Nashville and welcome to Talk of the Town.
Good morning, Leland. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you with us today. Yeah.
I don't need to do anything. You told them everything.
So you've had a great summer, and actually this is your second year up in Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, and it really has been magical. I mean, I know that sounds cliche, but it's been fantastic. I mean, you think Pigeon Forge, and you think the beautiful mountains, you think Dollywood, but there's so much going on there, and that's one of the reasons why we came there. We're in a spectacular standalone theater that rivals anything from Broadway and Vegas, and even this is one of my favorite theaters of all the theaters that I've played at, actually. It's
awesome. And before this show,
yes,
had you ever stepped foot in Pigeon Forge?
I've never stepped foot in Pigeon Forge. Well, one time to see another magician when I was growing up, actually, coincidentally. But you know, I grew up in New York. I moved to Vegas. I had the blessing of Siegfried and Roy and their stage at the Mirage. And now, so I'm trying to take all of my experience from those worlds and give Pigeon Forge a different type of experience.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned Siegfried and Roy. Talk about that, because they helped launch your career, right?
Well,
they were mentors for you?
It's a total dream come true. I mean, if every kid that's dreaming to be a magician and you get a chance to move to Vegas, you never think you would even meet Siegfried and Roy. But not only did I get a chance to meet them, but as fate and destiny prevails, which is also a theme of my show, they just took me under their wings, and they launched the show as Siegfried and Roy Present Darren Romeo. That's what we did in Vegas.
Okay.
And then through the world, and then we shaped it and honed it, and then we're trying to bring the best of everything here into a great marketplace.
All right, we're going to talk a little magic here in just a second, or illusions here in just a second, but for folks who are there in the audience with you, what can they expect to see? Because it's a big production that you're doing up there.
It's a very big production, but it also is a family-friendly marketplace. So I have to think about the kids, I have to think about the moms and dads, I have to think about the grandpas, so grandma and grandpa, and I want to make sure that it is a roller coaster of exciting energy, great magic, but also emotional.
Okay.
Because the whole use of music, because you know I sing in it. I know that sounds scary, folks, but I'm a singing magician. And the use of music, because everybody relates to music, I think it just makes the magic more powerful.
Awesome.
And relatable.
Well, we can't bring all of that production here, the tigers and some of the other things you'll be able to see in the show itself, but you've got a couple of things here that we're going to talk about. If you will,
you want me to tease them, huh?
I tease them.
I can't bring my 650-pound tiger here, but I talk about how magic inspires children. I grew up at a magic camp, and this was the first magic trick that I did. This is not part of my show, but it's amazing how a kid can just latch on to magic. This is my coloring book. When I was growing up, it didn't have my images. This one makes fun of my big cheekbones. And it's easy because every kid can go home with their imagination. You snap your fingers, and then all of the images become colorful.
Wow, look at there.
And it's all about, and I'm telling you that any kid and any adult can do this. It's so fantastic. And I want them to walk home with it, because then they get a chance to feed the magic bug. And you know, this is how I started.
Yeah.
I started with something
as your lovely assistant.
Thank you, Matt.
Handsome assistant.
But if you see something that visual, can grab you into magic. Now, still,
now tell me about this.
This is not the grand illusion, but this is part of something in my show. And of course, we have the lights and the singing. And I'm gonna maybe ask you to help me here. It's a very delicate antique table. Grab onto the tassels, because, and imagine that you're in the showroom and I'm in the middle of the audience. And then we start to sing, and I serenade you in a goofy circus song, and then this starts to happen, Leland, right in the middle of the audience and on the screens. And we have a live camera. I know, it's a little bit jarring. Now this, a long time ago, 10 years ago, Siegfried and Roy and I were one of the first to be able to do something like this. Now it's a magic favorite in the world of magic. Pull it down gently. And then on the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to let go. But before you let go, I want to thank you and Nashville for having me.
Well, good
and I hope that you're all going to come see me in Pigeon Forge. And we're there to the end of October. Oh, yeah, look at you. On the, you're hired, Leland. On the count of 3, let go of both hands. hands. One,
Okay.
two, three, let go. I'm Darren Romeo. Come see me in magic beyond belief in Pigeon Forge at the beautiful Smoky Mountain Opry Theater. We got tigers and music and bears. Oh my. Leland, thank
Wow.
you.
Oh.
See you, Nashville.
He's rushing off back to his show. Fantastic there. You can see Darren Romeo Magic Beyond Belief at the Smoky Mountain Opry Theater in Pigeon Forge through fall. Get tickets and more information online at pigeonforgemagic.com.